Okay, you guys, here we go. So this is Michelle Thompson. Hi, Michael. How are you doing? Okay. You know, it goes live. It says that it's not live yet, and it goes live before I'm ready. So anyway, washed my hair. Still haven't straightened it yet. Hopefully I'll have my hair done before I go live with Trisha tonight. And, but I am actually going to be, I wanted to try to get this in because I am, you know, committed to trying to do this on, you know, the relationship thing every day. So here we go. Me and my curly hair. So, Michael, how are you doing today, by the way? Hope you're doing well. Good, good, good. That's great. So, all right. So the thing that I'm going to pull up my little notes here. Hi, Ellie. How are you doing? Yeah, I washed my hair and it's still wet and I'm waiting for it to dry so I can straighten it. So hopefully it will, it's buffering. That's weird. It seems to be fine on my end. Huh. That's strange. Don't know what's going on here. Okay. So is it still doing that, Michael? I wonder if, you know, YouTube's been having some problems. So I don't know what's going on. I tried to, you know, my meditation video, I sent it to one of my clients and it wasn't even playing. And everything else, I tested out some of the other things and it seemed to be working. But I don't know. Let me look at it from my end. It seems like it's okay. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? How's it going, you guys? So I'm not really sure what kind of crowd we're going to get today because I did start early because I do have a show with Trisha tonight at 8 Central. And I wanted to make sure that my hair was dry so I could actually fix it before I go on her show. So I wanted to make sure that I got this in before I aired with her. So I want to make sure that I did this thing on relationships because I'm trying to be committed to doing this every day. It's going to be a little challenging on the weekends because that means I actually have to come into my office. And so, all right, so let's just dive right in and see where we can go with this. All right, so today we're going to actually talk about, you know, the beginning of a relationship. And, you know, a lot of times I hear people talk about trying to find their soulmate, trying to find the right person. And, you know, and I hear a lot of people saying that their friends say that they're too picky. And, you know, and when they do try to reach out for that type of person, that doesn't seem to work out. So there's a lot of reasons behind that. So I'm really dehydrated today. So wanted to talk with you guys about that. So I know that a couple of you guys are single, so this is a good group to talk to about that. So I know Maria's single. I know Michael's single. Ellie, are you single? I know there's a little bit of a delay here. So yeah, so I'm gonna wait for her to respond. Okay, well, I'll just keep on going because I'm not really sure exactly how fast. Yes, you're single. Good. Okay, good, good. All right, so talking to single people, this is awesome because this is what it's kind of the topic is about. So a lot of times what happens is that we have so many relationships in our life that we know what we don't want, right? And so a lot of times we don't know what we want, but we know what we don't want. So I like to tell people, like, if you know that you don't want this, look at the opposite and you know what you want. And then a lot of times you'll say that you want something, but that's not really the priority here. You know, if you ask a woman what she wants, or you ask a guy what they want, a lot of times they give you this long ass list. And the thing is that what you want to do is you want to kind of take that list and you want to narrow it down to about 5. Okay. And you want to call it like your 5 non-negotiables. See, the problem is a lot of times your list is so big that you sacrifice the areas that are really important and it becomes a problem. So there's a couple of points that I want to make here. So we're going to talk about that. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is how to attract the type of person that you want in your life. So that's, and I'm not necessarily talking about manifesting. I'm literally talking about how to create an environment or how to create a scenario to where you become that kind of person that the other person wants. Okay. So let's start from the beginning here with the part about, lost my train of thought. Wow. Today's the day, right? So, basically, when let's start with the last part. Okay. So when, hold on, brain fog today. I've had brain fog the last few days. I swear to God, I don't know what's going on with my head. So in a relationship, when you're trying to go for somebody, you always have this long list of everything. And a lot of times when you meet somebody, you're so attracted to them physically that your lower vicinity of your body becomes the determiner on whether or not you're going to pursue this. So with a guy, it's his penis, and with a girl, it's her, things that make things shake and rock her world, with a girl, it kind of waves, it kind of like does this thing and it's this thing, and guy, it's all lower vicinity. And so it's like what rocks your world. Okay. And a lot of times all those lists of things that you've made, they all go out the window, and you end up in this relationship that's kind of toxic or bad. And because you're so geared towards, the attraction. Okay. And you're like, well, maybe I was just expecting too much. And so what I want to talk to you about is, sit down and make a list. Okay. And that list may be a mile long. Okay. And it's usually based on stuff that you don't want. Well, so don't make a list of what you don't want. Make a list of what you want. So for example, you don't want somebody negative. Okay. So you write down on your list, I want somebody positive. I don't want somebody who doesn't have a job. Well, okay. So you want to write, I want somebody who has a job, that kind of thing. So you want to kind of, make that list of all the positive attributes of the person. Then what I want you to do is take that list and I want you to list them in order, like put 1, 2, 3, 4 of the most important. Once you've listed the most important ones, I want you to take the top 5, the one that you label number 1 most important, number 2 most important, number 3 most important, and number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay. Now those 5 are going to be your 5 non-negotiables. Okay. So when you meet somebody and you're interacting with them, you want to make sure that they meet your top non-negotiables, because if you don't meet those top non-negotiables, what's going to end up happening is, hi, Robin, how are you doing? If you don't meet those top 5 non-negotiables, then basically what's going to end up happening is that in the relationship later on, you're going to be hoping that you're going to change them, or you're going to say, I don't think this is going anywhere because, but you're in the relationship. So like, why are you there if you don't think it's going anywhere? That's another issue. And then you end up finding yourself in this relationship and saying, I knew it was never going to go anywhere. Don't do that. Don't get involved in a relationship you don't think is going to go anywhere. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the heartache. It's not worth the pain that you put on the other person. It's not worth the pain you put on yourself. So when you're seeking out somebody, your 5 non-negotiables. Okay. So here's where it gets really tricky. We're going to get into the second part about how to attract the person that you want. So you want somebody who is confident. Okay. I'm just going to throw out a few of them. So you want somebody who is confident, And so you don't want some girl that's like needy and insecure and all this other stuff. So you're like, I don't want that. So I want somebody who's confident. So it's really, really important to you. Okay. Let's say that you want somebody who's career minded because you're career minded. Okay. So you don't want somebody that you're having to deal with financial issues and stress and all this other stuff. Okay. So you want somebody who's a go-getter, who's career minded. And that doesn't mean that they have to make a lot of money. Like they could be a school teacher or a fireman or something like that. It's not about money. It's about where they're wanting to go and how are they proactive in making that happen. So example, like me, for example, when I first started my business, I wasn't making very much money. Okay. And, but I'm career minded and I have a marketing degree. I'm a life coach. I got all my certifications. I got all my licensings. I got all the stuff that I needed. And I made sure that I was prepared to go into this. But in the first few years, I wasn't making very much money. So, if somebody was to say that they wanted somebody who's career minded, I would have fell into that category, but I wouldn't fall into the category of financially stable because I was starting a new business. So basically, as you're, you figure out like these things that you want. Let's say hypothetically, again, we're going to use confidence and we're going to use career minded. Okay. So if you want somebody who is confident and career minded, and let's say that they have, let's say a stable family environment or something like that, how are you going to attract somebody like that? And I want you to really think about that. So here, I got another one. Here's a good one. So guys, okay. So this is a good one for guys. Okay. So they're like, a lot of guys want somebody who's really attractive, that's, physically fit and all this other stuff. And they'll say things like that, but they're overweight. They're not attractive. And so I had this one guy come into me and he was an older gentleman and half the time his hair was all greasy. His clothes were not ironed very well. He looked really like not put together. He wasn't like all clean cut, like his shoes were all like dirty, like not really dirty, but scuffed. And he said that he was looking for somebody, like a woman that was younger than him, that was really beautiful and all these things. And he had this whole thing. And I'm like, how can you attract somebody like that if you're not that person too? So I had to coach him on how to dress a certain way and how to behave a certain kind of way, how to act a certain way. See, you have to think about what that person is and then what it is that you want from that person. And then you got to figure out, how are you going to attract that person? Well, you have to develop yourself in such a way that you attract that person. So if you're looking for a really hot chick, you need to become a really hot guy. Now, ladies, I want you to think about this, or guys, I want you to think about this. Okay. Sometimes you guys, y'all don't like look at other guys, but some guys do. If you go to the gym and you start working out and you start becoming kind of buff, a lot of times that body oversees what's here. You know what I mean? And so like you can kind of become hot, and you can become hot because you dress real sharp and you shave your beard perfectly. You may not be the best looking guy, but you're so clean cut and you're so well taken care of that you look hot because you're like in the gym all the time and you're taking care, you're eating healthy and all that kind of stuff. So you want to create yourself in a way that's going to attract that type of girl, because that kind of girl is going to be dating and interested in that type of guy. If you're looking for a fit girl, then you're probably going to need to hang out at the gym and date somebody to find that girl. You're going to probably find her at activities and stuff where she's doing things, and you've got to become that person too. So if you're just laying around watching Netflix all the time, you're not going to attract her. because she's not going to be interested in somebody like that. She's going to be with somebody, she's going to be interested in somebody who likes to go hiking, somebody who likes to do the activities, because a fit person is an active person. And so you got to think about what she looks like. What does her lifestyle look like? And you've got to create yourself in such a way that you attract that type of person. So this isn't about you not loving yourself. So thing is that there's this saying that that Tony Robbins says all the time. And he says, if you're not growing, you're dying. So you've got to constantly grow. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to constantly change and grow and move and create and, you know, shift how you look, change how you look, change your career, work towards getting a promotion. You know, what is it that you want, or develop spiritually? So a lot of you guys are into all the spiritual stuff. So you want a spiritual person. So if you're wanting a spiritual guy or a spiritual girl, you have to be spiritually fit yourself. And if you got a lot of baggage going on and a lot of issues from your past, she's not going to be interested, or he's not going to be interested, because the second that he gets a whiff of all of that, he's going to be out the door. He's going to go, I'm not here to fix you. I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to be your knight in shining armor. Okay. You got to go do the work. So a spiritual person doesn't necessarily just watch these videos all the time and make beautiful comments in the chat room. A spiritual person is actually living that. Okay. This is a lifestyle. This is a way of life. This is what you do when nobody's looking. Okay. When nobody's watching and nobody knows who you are. So like, I have this part-time job that I do that I actually enjoy. And it is completely different and totally opposite of what I do in my office and on here. And I do it because it's fun. And, you know, it's just a whole different world. And it also pays for my car note. So I find that when I'm there, I am all about the service of that person that's in front of me. And sometimes I'll get people that come in and I will take care of them on such a level that is not necessarily financially benefiting the company, but it makes the company look good because I'm helping them. Okay. So I'll spend a lot of time with them, helping them with a problem, and they'll go, wow, you're so nice. And I'm just doing it because I'm present with that person. I'm kind, I'm loving, and I'm focused on that. And not one time do I ever say, hey, by the way, I'm Michelle Thompson. I'm on YouTube. I'm a spiritual beacon. I'm a life coach. I'm here. You know, I don't do any of that. This is like me and that person. Nobody knows. Okay? Nobody. And the thing is that they don't know who they're talking to. Okay? Sometimes I get these homeless guys that walk in and they don't have a clue who I am. Okay? And we'll have a long ass conversation and I'll talk to them about how this happened, or, you know, or sometimes I've already done that a few times. So that they know me really well. So I'll just ask them, how's it going? You making any money today? Da, 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 you know, this, that, and the other. Sometimes they'll say, hey, can I just charge my phone here? And I'm like, sure, no problem. I'll plug it in for them. They come back and pick it up. I've actually had them give me gifts, like because somebody gave it to them. They've said, hey, I don't have a refrigerator for this. You want this food? I'm a diabetic. Somebody gave me a whole bunch of cookies. You want them? You know, one guy said, hey, this lady gave me a whole bunch of shoes, and I'm not a girl. And what size shoe do you wear? You want these shoes? And so this is the kind of conversations that I'll have with these people. And it's interesting because if somebody like was to get to know me. And it was really funny because one of the clients actually eventually got to know me. And as he got to know me, he started finding out who I was. And he was like, holy cow. So I work at a smoke shop, like where they sell like vapes and stuff like that. And on the weekends. And he's like, here I thought this was Michelle, little Michelle, working at a smoke shop, you know, blah, blah, blah. I had no idea. He goes, I just thought you were just the nicest girl. And I had no idea who you were until I actually really got to know him. And I got to know him because we ended up attending, he was telling me about this workshop and we actually attended it together. And we ended up having a really long conversation on the phone. And it ended up sparking a new interest of me, some courses that I'm going to take to become a public speaker. So as that person, I'm getting, people are acknowledging and they're seeing this person inside of me. Okay. Without nobody looking, without anybody saying anything. Now, I'm not as good as Jeff about quoting scriptures. Okay. But I think it's in Corinthians. But it says basically, if you're going to pray, pray in private. If you're going to do this, give it, if you're going to give a gift or give money, do it anonymously. If you're going to do this. So these are things that it needs to be. And the reason for that is because it really doesn't matter if you're doing it to show the world, right? So this thing that I'm telling you is that you're wanting to do to develop inside of you needs to be the core of your being. So if you're wanting to attract a spiritual person in your life, and you need to be that person inside. It needs to be who you are when nobody's looking, okay? And that will attract that type of guy because he's going to see it energetically in you. So that means get rid of your baggage. Stop judging people. Forgive your friends. Forgive your past. Forgive everything and just love. Okay? I'm not telling you when you forgive doesn't mean that you have to invite them into your home and all this other stuff. Okay? So if you're wanting to attract that type of person, that's the kind of person you need to become. So if you're wanting to attract an athletic person, okay? So you want to attract somebody who's active and athletic. If you're not active and athletic, they're not going to be interested in you. They might like think you're sexy a little bit because they met you at the gym and you're like got a nice butt and great boobs. But eventually, as they get to know you and they see that you're kind of lazy and you're not really doing anything, they're not going to be as attracted to you. So then you start feeling, oh, I'm worthless, oh, my self-worth, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I can't attract the right guy, da, da, da. I always end up with these losers, you know. And the thing is that it's because you have to become the person that they would be interested in. So if you want to attract somebody who's confident, then you need to start creating that confidence. Now, confidence is an interesting thing because confidence comes from doing something over and over and over again until you feel good about doing it. So when I first started doing videos, I would record them and I would edit them. And I found that I was constantly doing this and this and this and this, okay? And I was doing that a lot. And so I would edit it and I would like put a picture right there or something to try to get it out. And I was so uncomfortable about airing my videos because I didn't think they were professional enough. And over time, I have gotten better at my presentation. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still scratch my nose every so often and flip my hair. But over time, I've gotten better. And the confidence is there, regardless if I screw up, fuck up like I did a minute ago when I had a brain fart. You know, it's like I just kind of laugh about it and just, you know, whatever. It's no big deal because I've gotten more confident because I know my message is clear. I know I'm confident about this because I know that what I have to say is important and it's relevant. And this is something that you need to practice. So it's not something that just comes overnight. So confidence is something you develop. You develop by doing it over and over and over again. When I have people that come to me and they say, can you hypnotize me to be confident? I always get a kick out of that one. And so confidence comes from like, one of the analogies I like to use is like, if you take a basketball, like I don't shoot hoops. Okay. So if I was to actually take a basketball and shoot it into hoop and I had 10 shots, I'd probably miss all of them. Okay. Now, if I practiced every day for about a week, I might be able to get 1 or 2 in there. Now, if I practiced every day for about a month, I probably get a little bit more. And if I practiced every day for about 6 months, I might be almost 100%, like 80% of the time. If I did it for years and years and years, I'd probably be a sure shot, So thing is that how do you get that confidence to shoot the hoops comes from practice, 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 practice. Okay. So eventually I became confident over that particular thing. And so it takes time to develop that. It's something that you have to do over and over again. So if you want somebody in your life that's confidence, then you need to develop your own confidence, okay? Which means that you need to do things that makes you feel good. So ladies, like one of the things I always tell them, think about the things that make you feel good, okay? So you always see me with earrings on. And I can tell you that I can get online with not a stitch of makeup on, but if I have earrings on, I feel good, okay? Typically, I'll at least put some kind of lipstick or lip gloss on. So lip gloss and earrings. And I always feel good, at least if I have that. So there's certain things that make us feel good, like maybe it's shoes, maybe it's jewelry, maybe it's, mascara, maybe it's, whatever, it's wearing your hair down or, that kind of thing. It's like, you got to think of those things that when you do those things, you feel good. So you always want to practice a daily exercise of the things that is going to develop that part of you that makes you feel good. So, I'm looking at the comments. So hold on a second. Always say a prayer in private. Yeah. Yes. Yep. So anyways, basically the situation here is that you want to develop yourself in such a way that you attract that type of person. Okay. So again, if you want somebody that's attractive and you're not an attractive person, then make yourself attractive. I used to work for Estee Lauder years ago, and one of her things, the quotes that she used to say is, there's no such thing as an ugly woman, just a lazy one. And I always thought that was kind of humorous, because every woman can be beautiful if she finds a way to make herself more attractive. And it's the same thing with guys. You don't have to be the best looking guy in the whole world, but like if you're clean cut, if you're clean shaven, or if you take care of your body, or if you dress nice. I mean, even if you just dress nice, you just make sure you're tucked in and everything's nice and clean and like perfect, you become more attractive. And so if you want to attract, if your hair's all like messy and shit, all the time, and your wrinkled clothes and it's not tucked in perfectly, and you're just sort of like scraggly wearing a t-shirt and pair of baggy jeans. I mean, like, go find a pair of jeans that fit you. Okay, guys, like, girls do not like saggy jeans. Okay. Girls like jeans that fit your ass so they can see it. Even if you have a small little ass, then go hit the gym and start doing some squats, get that butt going, But aside from that, even if you don't want to do that, you wear things that fit you. And so you want to appear confident. You want to You want to do things that makes you feel confident. Boy, I'm having throat issue today. Okay. All right. So Iowa said something. I think it's interesting. Okay. So when you say they have to eat like you, do you mean like fatty foods, or do you mean like healthy foods, or what? I have a tickle in my throat. Can't seem to get it out. Dry throat today. So she's from Texas, loves the Wrangler jeans. Are you talking about me? Yes, I'm from Texas. I just like tight jeans. I like to see a guy. I don't care. I like designer jeans, actually. It's like when my husband wears designer jeans and it, shows his butt. I like it. I like that. I like them a little on the tighter side. Leave the house and go out by themselves. I like to smell good. If I have one, I'm happy. Okay, awesome. I like men that smell good too. I think that's really nice. But Iowa, I was curious about, like, when you meet somebody at the supermarket that you like, that eats like you, like, what kind of food do you like to eat that you're talking about? And what is that relating to? Because I think that's interesting, because that's actually a really good point. So I've actually always been attracted to guys that are a little bit bigger, like husky, not fat, but huskier, like, stocky, tall and kind of robust. And, but men like that have a tendency of eating a lot. Okay. So it kind of got to a point where I was like, I had to change what I was interested in, because I didn't want to be with somebody like that, because I would become as fat as the cow if I was with them, because they'd want to eat all the time. And that was not something that, I wanted. I wanted somebody that was, not so obsessed with food. So you like to cook. Okay, awesome. So some girls are very concerned about their body and they don't eat very much, or they eat very little. So he's interested in somebody who likes to eat certain things that he likes to eat. And so going to the supermarket and watching how they're picking out foods is a really good thing, because that's interesting he said that, because it does. You're attracting people that are in the same area. Now, I like what he said, because he's like saying, okay, I'm just trying to find somebody that is more like me. Okay. But a lot of times, you guys, what you're shooting for is something that's above your grade. Okay. So like outside of your, they always say, like, she's too good for you, or something like that. Not in your, what's the terminology they use? I forget what it's called, but it's like when you're like, she's out of your range, or she's out of your, that kind of thing. I hear guys say that all the time. And, most of the time women just want somebody who treats them well. But there's gotta be, some things that are in common. Yeah, not in your league. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So basically what I'm saying to you is, if somebody's outside of your league, then become that person in that league. So let's say that you want somebody who's successful, and then what you need to do is you need to create success in your life. Because she's not going to be as attracted to somebody like that. The problem, you guys, and I want you to listen to me really carefully, and girls, y'all can just kind of tune me out for a second, and then I'll talk to y'all. But guys, a lot of times what happens with women is because they're sexually attracted to you, he's cute, he's handsome, that kind of stuff. What they'll do is they'll alter their whole personality for a certain period of time. And they will do whatever it takes to make you happy. And they'll alter it completely. And then they'll realize They're not happy anymore because they're not being themselves. So now, girls, I'm going to talk to you. Don't do that. Okay. You need to go for somebody that is more like you, or you're developing skills to be more like them. You know, if you're interested in arts and the theater or something like that, and he's all into football and bars and stuff like that, then there's going to be a compatibility issue. Okay. If you're athletic and you're active and you like to get out and do things, and all he wants to do is he doesn't like to go to the gym. He doesn't like to do active things. You know, maybe he has a heart problem or something like that. These are going to be problems in your future later on, because you might be okay with it at first, but eventually you're not going to be. If he's not a communicator and you're a communicator, it's going to be a problem later on, because you might be okay at first, but later on you're going to start complaining about it. And if you think about the relationships you've been in, when did you start having issues? When you started to realize that he wasn't going to change. Okay. So don't get involved in that kind of relationship at all. Now, so there's three things here that we're hitting on. Okay. First is find out what you want, make a long list of everything that you want. Number them in order based on the things that are most important to you. Take your top 5, make them your 5 non-negotiables. Seek out that person. Okay. Find out how that person acts, not specifically like you're saying, okay, there's Joe. He's that person. How's he act? I mean, like, think of an image of that person and like, how would he act? What's his lifestyle like? What is he going to do? And just kind of imagine that, and then start to develop those skills in your life and develop that within yourself. And you will become attractive to that type of person, and it'll be easy to find them. The next thing is so we develop our 5 non-negotiables, we develop ourselves into the person that would be attractive to the type of person you want. And then the last thing is, you guys, don't alter yourself for somebody ever. Okay. Because you do that, and then later on you're complaining because people don't change. My mom used to say all the time, a leopard doesn't change their spots. Every so often you'll find a chameleon and they like to change. And that's actually like a gold mine. So that's kind of cool. But, you know, like, I would say on a lot of levels, my husband's a chameleon. And so if I start to develop something that I'm interested in or I like, he usually says, hey, that's interesting. Yeah, let's both do that. And he'll go that direction because he's always wanting to grow. So what did I say before? If you're not growing, you're dying. You got to make sure that you're always developing yourself. Okay. If you're not growing, you're dying. You need to create something to where you're creating some kind of contribution to something that you love. Okay. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not learning, if you learn a new skill, learn something. I mean, you know, like learn something on your computer, or take a course in Spanish or something, but create something within yourself. And as you start to develop yourself, like, you may not even know who you are. Okay. As you develop yourself, you're going to find out things you really like, and you're going to find out things you really don't like. And as you develop yourself, you're going to want somebody like that. Okay. So I'm going to look at the comments and tally this up. Let's see what we got here. You're funny, Iowa. You're hilarious. You never asked your husband to change for you. Robin, that's so awesome. You probably found that, you know, that he was exactly what you wanted in the first place, you know? my thing is I never ask my husband to change either. But what I do ask him to do is to continuously grow, continue developing himself. And I also want him to be happy. So he needs to be doing things that makes him happy. And, you know, another thing that I think is really important, and a lot of people don't realize this, is I hear people say, I'm not happy, or I want to be happy, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, that's a big thing, because a lot of people think, oh, well, it's a feeling that I gotta get out, and I don't, you know, I need to take a drug or something to make that happen. Here's the thing. Happiness or feelings, the feelings that you have come from the things that you do. So if you want to be peaceful, then you need to do peaceful actions. So if that's a part of you that you need to develop because you want to date somebody who's peaceful, then you need to be doing peaceful actions. So if you want to develop that emotion within you, start doing yoga, tai chi, hypnosis, meditation. You want to go for walks, do painting, artistic things, be creative. So if you want to develop that within yourself, you need to be doing peaceful actions. If you want to be happy, then you need to be doing things that makes you laugh, sing, dance, smile. Okay? What makes you laugh? Turn the radio on. If you're in a shitty mood, turn the radio on really, really loud, sing out loud. You're going to feel good. Start doing karaoke, run, laugh, go to a comedy, do things that you socialize, do things that makes you happy. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else that I need to go over. Patrick, nice to see you again. You guys are so nice. So if anybody has any questions real quick, it doesn't look like you have any questions. Yeah, he makes me laugh too. It's always so funny. And, you know, I think so for instance, Iowa and Anton, they're funny. Okay. So hey, Shannon, how are you? So like Iowa and Anton, they're funny. Okay. So if I wanted a funny person in my life, then I would need to be a person that likes to laugh. Okay. So I need to develop that inside of myself. I don't have to necessarily be funny, because, you know, you don't want to steal the show. Somebody, what did you say? PL. It was asking me if I wanted to say that was okay. Anyways, if you want to be happy, then you need to do happy actions. If you want to be peaceful, then you need to do peaceful actions. If you want to be loving, then you need to do loving actions. Okay. So, and then it kind of goes back to that old saying is, if you want more friends in your life, then you need to be a better friend. So it's kind of like developing yourself into those areas. If you want something, you need to become that. Okay. So if you want a specific type of person, then you need to become that. So if you want more friends, then you need to be a better friend. If you want more love, then you need to love more. Okay. You need to love more. And if you want to, whatever, you know what I mean? If you want somebody giving, then, you know, more giving people in your life, then you need to give more. So the reason that they say these things is you have to become the person that you want to be with, because you're going to develop, if you develop that within yourself, you become attractive to that person. Okay. So if you're not growing, you're dying, you guys. So grow, develop yourself, make yourself into this absolutely awesome, amazing human being. Not that you aren't already, but become more awesome, become more amazing, become more authentic, become more of whatever it is that you want in a relationship. All right, you guys. that is all I'm going to say. I've got to see if my hair is, it's almost dry now. I'm going to go iron my hair and get ready for the show that I'm going to be doing with Trisha. You guys, it's in an hour and a half. It's 8 p.m. Central. So, and it's going to be on Trisha's channel tonight. So make sure that you show up. I think we're going to be talking about fear. So don't miss it. Okay. So catch you later. If you just joined, watch the replay. Make sure that you hit the like button, you guys. I really, really appreciate it if you hit the like button. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. You guys have a fabulous evening. Bye.